Today I want to talk about the dignity of human life. The Bible says that we were created in the image of God. It says that in Genesis 1. It says, God said, let us make man in our image and in our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the birds of the air, over the livestock, and over every creeping thing that creeps on the earth. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him. Male and female, he created them. So we were created in the image of God. And what exactly that means is hard for us to really understand. And usually what we end up doing is trying to reverse engineer the thing. And we look at ourselves and we say, well, since I know what I look like, then I also know what God looks like because I'm made in his image. And I think that's fair because the Bible talks about God with kind of a description of a human body. For example, God has a mouth, he has eyes, he has ears, he has a nose, he has arms and hands and all kinds of other features of a human body. And so that's how the Bible describes him. Now, whether or not God is doing that just because that's our frame of reference, that could be, or I don't know, maybe it's also could be referring to God as being the incarnate God, Jesus Christ, because God became a human. So there's something special about being a human being because we're created in the image of God. Now, it's true that since the fall, we lost something of that image. We became sinners, and we don't have the relationship that we used to have before the fall. That's only restored through Jesus and through faith in Jesus. There's still a dignity that's intact of the image of God with us. That's why it's not okay to kill people. In Genesis chapter 9, we see that after the flood, God was talking to Noah, and he said, whoever sheds man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed. For God made man in the image of God. So there's a sense that, like, when you take a human life, that's striking at God. That's hurting God because we're made in God's image. James also picks up on this. He's talking about the tongue and all the things that we say and do with our tongue that we shouldn't. He says, with the tongue, we bless God, but with the same tongue, we curse man who's made in the similitude or in the likeness of God. So even when we're hurting people and saying things against people, that's striking at this image of God. It's striking at God to hurt each other. This understanding of the dignity of human life affects a lot of different things that we believe and teach in the Christian church. Of course, it comes into play when we're talking about abortion and the life of the unborn. But it also comes into play when we're talking about war, just war theory. When is it okay to kill somebody? Is it ever okay? Is it ever justified to take a human life? And I suppose you could say that the whole reason those are even questions is because we presuppose that human beings are created in God's image, that there would need to be quite a reason to override the fact that human life is dignified and protected. God made a commandment specially designed to protect our lives. Human life is protected in the fifth commandment. You shall not kill. So we are made in God's image. Remember, God breathed in Adam's nostrils the breath of life, and Adam became a living being. So we share something with God. You can't separate God from humanity. And so that's why we believe in the sanctity of human life, in the dignity of human life. We don't hurt people. We don't harm people. No matter who a person is, they have this dignity to them. They were created in the image of God.